Grady Newsource. What we've learned about the UGA student robbed and shot and his road to recovery.
We're blessed and thankful for the conversation that we're having today that could have been a lot different.
And I spoke to a crime analyst about safety concerns in wake of the shooting.
I've been here 15 years analyzing crime, and over that 15-year period we've seen crime overall decrease in both violent and property crime categories.
Plus, the president's visit to Atlanta today to speak about drug abuse.
My administration is deploying every resource at our disposal to empower you, to support you, and to fight right by your side.
We looked into opioid abuse in Georgia.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Donovan Harris.
And I'm Sydney Heiberger. Thanks for joining us.
Our top story tonight. That UGA student who was shot Monday during an armed robbery is in improving condition. Tate Prezano, seen here in a picture from his Instagram, is recovering at an Athens hospital from gunshots to his head and neck. Grady Newsource reporter Sarah Hammond joins us live from Piedmont Athens Regional Medical Center. Sarah, how's he doing?
Tate's friends and family tell me that he's improving minute by minute, but he's going to remain in the ICU here at Piedmont Athens Regional Medical Center for the next several days while he recovers.
And a young man standing at the bus stop waiting to go to college was accosted by an armed assailant, robbed, and shot.
Tate Prezano, the UGA student who was shot on South Millage Avenue Monday morning, is recovering at Piedmont Athens Regional Medical Center. His father, Dobbin Prezano, says he expects his son to make a full recovery.
We're blessed and thankful for the conversation that we're having today that could have been a lot different.
Police arrested 20-year-old Zarin Garner at approximately 1:40 Tuesday morning. He is currently being held in the Athens-Clarke County Jail with no bond. Michael Ayers, special agent in charge of the GBI, says that as soon as this sketch was released to the public, tips and leads came pouring in.
They contacted us, they put us in the right direction, and they gave us the push forward to be able to develop a suspect and to be able to make an arrest in this case.
Police say Garner does have a low-level criminal background. Monday's shooting left Tate Prezano bleeding on the sidewalk. His father says Tate has breathing tubes, so he isn't able to communicate much, but
we've been communicating to many of his classmates and teammates and such. He's been given a thumbs up, which has been positive, certainly.
Tate played lacrosse at Cambridge High School and is on the club team here at UGA. His friends and teammates say that they've been thinking about him since Monday. For Grady Newsource, I'm Sarah Hammond.
Monday's shooting raises some safety concerns. I talked to a crime analyst at the Athens-Clarke County Police Department who says Athens is actually a very safe place to live. His job at the Athens-Clarke County Police Department is to study and interpret crime trends.
I think just communities in general have misconceptions about crime.
While it may feel like violent crime in Athens has spiked, Griffith says crime of all kinds has actually decreased since he started his job 15 years ago.
We adapt very quickly and react to those violent crime patterns, and so that's helped drive down violent crime.
But compared to last year, Athens has seen an increase in homicides. Griffith attributes this to a variety of factors.
How quick did you get medical attention? How quick did you get to the hospital? Was there a trauma surgeon that could treat you right away? Those types of things are really what drive the homicide rate.
From 1995 to 2017, the FBI reports violent crime rates in Athens have fallen. But Griffith thinks movies and media coverage have led Athens residents to think otherwise.
What goes on day to day here is very different from what the community perceives as the biggest issues.
Griffith told me he and other police officials come together for a bi-weekly meeting to discuss violent crime patterns and create strategies to combat criminal behavior.
We wanted to dig deeper into the crime numbers in the Athens area. Grady Newsource digital producer Vera Hallam looked at data from the GBI and Athens Clarke County Police.
While there has been a significant decrease in violent crime in Athens since 1995, as David Griffith told us, we are seeing a small upward trend in recent years. GBI and local police data show murders and assaults reported in the city have both increased. In the past 10 years, 2009 is an outlier, with 10 reported homicides in Athens Clarke County. Overall, the number of murders dipped, but has risen by a few cases in the last 5 years. There have been 4 homicides in the first 4 months of 2019 already. We're also seeing an upward trend in assaults in the past 5 years, and a factor in that could actually be how law enforcement is redefining what is classified as an assault.
We've seen aggravated assault go up just a little bit over the past few years, and that's really driven by a statutory change to the law in the state of Georgia. So in 2014, the legislature passed a strangulation law that made strangulation an aggravated assault crime in the state of Georgia.
President Trump joined thousands in Atlanta today for the Prescription Drug Abuse and Heroin Summit.
Right, Donovan. Grady Newsource reporter Luke Gamble is in the newsroom where he looked into opioid abuse in Georgia.
President Trump spoke about what his administration has done to combat the opioid crisis. Mr. Trump said that his administration has raised a record $6 billion in new funding to combat the national opioid crisis.
My administration is deploying every resource at our disposal to empower you, to support you, and to fight right by your side, and that's what we're doing.
President Trump said that during his time in office, the total amount of opioids prescribed has decreased by 34%. The National Institute on Drug Abuse says that Georgia providers wrote 70.9 opioid prescriptions for every 100 persons in 2017. That's higher than the national average of 58.7 prescriptions for every 100 persons. President Trump emphasized the importance of National Drug Take-Back Day, which will take place this Saturday. The event is an opportunity for people to drop off expired, unused, or unwanted pills that could be potentially dangerous prescription drugs. Athens Clarke County Police, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and the Oconee County Sheriff's Office will have drop-off locations from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday. Live from the newsroom, I'm Luke Gamble.
Thank you, Luke. When students arrive in Athens, most don't become fixtures in the local political scene, but 26-year-old Mariah Parker is not like most students. Grady Newsource reporter Wyatt Nail introduces us to a young woman pursuing a doctorate, all while serving as a Clarke County commissioner and performing as a hip-hop artist.
He said, "Let me see you rap."
Mariah Parker is multifaceted, an artist, an educator, and a politician.
I realized that the easiest entryway into making any kind of change within the electoral system is from its base level.
Parker ran for the District 2 seat on the Athens Clarke County Commission in May 2018. She won the race by just 13 votes and made major headlines by taking her oath of office on the autobiography of Malcolm X. Despite her early success, Parker never expected to run for office.
I never thought about being a politician. I didn't think that I was the kind of person that would become that, just because I like to have more fun than that.
Fun for Parker is performing all over the country under her rapper alter ego, Lingua Franca. Her music is focused on literary wordplay and social commentary.
Walking on every street and knocking on every door and telling the neighborhood we ain't taking it anymore.
Parker also hosts workshops on hip-hop, spoken word, and civic engagement at local schools.
And so through that, I think it's like part way raising the next generation of leadership.
The biggest lesson Parker has learned is anyone can make change happen.
If you are you and you feel like I'm not the kind of person that goes out and make change, and you're waiting for someone else to come along and do something, and you see a need in our society, you cannot wait for someone else to come along.
Parker is part of a political shift. 5 of the 10 Athens Clarke County commissioners are relatively new to the job.
Find out how the Academy Athens, Athens Clarke County Police Department, and Twilight are teaming up to help with the Twilight races this weekend.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Is the seat supposed to be forward-facing or rear-facing? Did they move to a booster seat too soon? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Don't think you know. Know you know.
I'm a single mother, and I was the main one working, so I never thought that I could go back to school, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90-mile-per-hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Former First Daughter Chelsea Clinton will be in Athens tonight. She'll be at Avid Bookshop promoting her children's book, Don't Let Them Disappear. Clinton's book focuses on endangered animals and how kids can work to save them.
It'll be amazing just to be able to meet her and then learn more about endangered animals and be able to talk to her too.
The event is at 7 tonight. The bookstore says they've already sold over 300 tickets to tonight's event. And although online ticket sales are closed, you can still purchase tickets at the bookstore before the event starts.
Athens Clarke County Police and a local business are teaming up for children's safety. Grady Newsource reporter Majesty Bass tells us with the Twilight race coming this weekend, they want to make sure young riders are prepared.
Academy Sports and Outdoors and Athens Twilight have been partners for 3 years. Academy is the sponsor for the Kids Criterium race that is part of this weekend's Twilight festivities. This year, the Athens Clarke County Police Department donated $1,000 worth of gift cards to Athens Twilight. The Kids Criterium race is for children ages 3 and up. Helmets are required for kids to participate. Ashley Travioso says the helmets purchased today will help keep children safe.
Head injuries are one of the #1 causes of injuries and death in kids, so we just want to make sure that our area kids are safe.
Cody Reed of Academy Sports and Outdoors says this initiative is a way for the store to get involved with young riders.
So we were looking for a way to get involved with the youth, and the Kids Criterium was perfect for Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Members of the Athens Clarke County Police Department were also present to help pick out helmets for the children and assist with checkout. Lieutenant John Radford, leader of community outreach, says the police department always looks for ways to partner with the community to show they care.
Excellent opportunity to get out into the community and show people that we care about our kids, about our youth, and we want to have a positive interaction.
50 helmets were purchased today, which came out to a grand total of $969.50 before tax. Half of these helmets will be handed at check-in Saturday at the Academy Sports and Outdoors Kids Criterium race for those kids that do not have them. I'm Majesty Bass, Grady Newsource.
If you're going to Twilight this weekend, stay safe, have fun, and make sure you send your photos to us on social media at Grady Newsource.
I'm Danny Cherzer with your Northeast Georgia Sports. Kelsey Kernett was the manager for the women's golf team her freshman and sophomore year. Now, in her 3rd year at UGA, she has reached her dream.
Everything that's happened to me is so surreal.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Attention travelers, next Tuesday a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Food, water, and phone service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
I'm Danny Terzer with your Northeast Georgia Sports. The University of Georgia equestrian team piled up the accolades at the NCEA National Championship. They won 3 event national titles in horsemanship, reining, and equitation over fences. They also took home the overall Western title. Senior Grayson Stroud received her 10th career Most Outstanding Performance honors for reining. That's also her 5th this season. The NCEA also named 3 Bulldogs to their all-championship team, including Jordan Carpenter, Annabeth Payne, and Grayson Stroud. Georgia men's basketball has made some promising off-season moves. That's good news after last season's struggles. The team didn't make the NCAA tournament. They didn't qualify for the NIT. They finished the season with an 11-20 record. But that could all change with one huge off-season accomplishment. Georgia's now ranked in the top 10 nationally for best recruiting class. They are expected to have a talent level next year unrivaled by any other in the last quarter century of program history. So who's coming? Anthony Edwards is the #1 recruit in the nation by 247.com and #5 by ESPN.com. Christian Brown is a 4-star small forward. Jaquan Walton and Tumani Kamara signed in November, rounding out the top 100 prospects in Georgia's 2019 recruiting class. Georgia's recruiting ranking is currently at #7 by 247.com. Women's golfer Kelsey Kurnett has epitomized perseverance and growth over her 3 years at UGA. She started as the team manager. She is now an athlete receiving scholarship. At the women's golf team's Christmas party, walk-on Kelsey Kurnett was sick with the flu. She joined the team anyway. After a secret Santa and a gift exchange, there was one more surprise left. A scholarship offer that would change her life.
Initially see the paper and just like the lettering on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this cannot be real. And then I start reading it, and it was just like a wave of emotions. I've never felt that way before. I was complete and utter shock.
Kelsey spent 2 years as the team manager. She traveled to California with her team her sophomore year. She realized from watching her teammates compete, she too had what it took.
I was like, I can do this. Like, I love this so much. I've been around it. I know how to do it. Like, I'm going to do it.
Describing herself, Kelsey said she's not confrontational.
I knew that if I never spoke up and like shared my voice, then he would never know.
Kelsey presented her case to head coach Josh Brewer, and with a few conditions and a promise of hard work, Kelsey walked on to the women's golf team. Now, she finishes up her junior year and her first semester on scholarship.
I think she's finally comfortable being a part of the golf team, so it's very refreshing as a coach for someone to be so thankful for what we have.
It's really cool and exciting to like know that I think I found where I'm supposed to be.
I'm Madison Lupo with your Grady Newsource weather. It's been a nice, beautiful, and sunny week, but there are some chances for rain tomorrow and Friday. I'll tell you more about it coming up.
Hello.
Hi. I'm from Blue Hood Stone Barns. We brought a meal for you, and I'm here to serve it to you.
Okay, great. Come in.
Zucchini carbonara, made from zucchini that was harvested earlier this morning.
Again?
Hey, Dan Barber.
You have room for a little bit more?
Come on in.
Brochettes, the sausage. So when we made that zucchini carbonara, you know, they're the end piece of the zucchini, and they're the cores that we cut away, not to mention zucchini flower. Usually those get thrown out. We use them to create an entire second dish. Does that, oh.
Again?
I'm here to bring you your third course. It's the vines from your zucchini.
We'll have a little zucchini stem pasta, a different experience of zucchini. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
This is delicious.
What do you think we can make out of this? 40% of food in America is never eaten. Cook it, store it, share it. Visit SaveTheFood.com.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Laughing too hard at one of your colleagues' jokes at the office party? He's not even funny. Warning sign, those drinks are probably going to your head. Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
And now, the weather.
I'm Madison Lupo, and this is your Grady Newsource weather. Today, I'm going to be talking about the hot temperatures we can expect to see throughout the rest of our week, rain possibilities towards the end of the week, and wrapping it up with your 5-day forecast. Today was a beautiful day with a high of 85. We're going to stay warm and hot, finally cooling off until midnight at 66 degrees. Moving into tomorrow, starting the day off at 65 degrees, warming up to 76 at noon, and 3 p.m. hitting 81 degrees, just a little cooler than the 83 high we expect to see tomorrow. Looking at our forecast for tomorrow night, tomorrow is going to be a nice and beautiful day, but moving into the evening hours, there is a 30% chance of showers, jumping up to 60% chance of showers after 2 a.m. Partly cloudy with a low of 60, but we expect to see some showers Thursday into Friday. Other than that, it's going to be a nice, beautiful, and warm rest of the week. If you're attending Twilight on Saturday, it's going to be a great day to do so. I'm Madison Lupo with your Grady Newsource weather.
How one UGA student is bringing African culture to Athens, one book bag at a time.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
La 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 la. I love you so. I love you. I love you. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
She's only a college freshman, but she's already running a business. I spoke with the founder of Ramla Apparel, who is balancing schoolwork and a company with an international flair.
I don't think anything really scares me about it. It's kind of like me and my mom, and I think my whole family, we've kind of been treating it as like our baby.
That baby is Ramla Apparel, the brainchild of University of Georgia student Ramatalai Jagni. She's a college freshman who hopes to study business. She showed me some of her website's best-selling products, including homemade shea butter and book bags.
We import raw shea butter straight from Mauritania, and then we grind it at home.
Mauritania is in Northwest Africa, but that's not the only country she buys from.
Basically, the whole business is just really connecting people here and around the continent with Africa.
Culture is important to Jagni. She's Gambian and launched the company in January, in part to connect Black people to their African heritage.
A lot of African Americans do sometimes have a want to connect with Africa, and making Ramla kind of a symbol for that connection was really important.
Ramla Apparel is more than just a cultural symbol for Jagni. She says that she's surprised by the amount of attention the company has received.
Sales are looking really good.
And says that starting your own business is about taking chances.
If you don't take the risk, like, you can't reap the reward.
And Sydney, Jagni told me that she hopes to sell her products overseas. She would also like to launch a Ramla Apparel blog.
That's all we have for tonight. I'm Sydney Heiberger.
And I'm Donovan Harris. Good night.
Grady Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here. Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Wait, why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
and I was the senior production manager today. Today was my last day in this position. Aww. I'm so sad. Can you see it? I'm just kidding. There's a little bit of sadness. I'll process this in like a week. But, you know, also more last things. Yes, next Wednesday. Exactly. When I'm not doing this. But this was Bert's last show. This is Bert next to me if you don't already recognize. Well, last show directing. Yes.
Fabulous
She'll be here next
job.
week. But she has words, and here they are.
Cool. Thank y'all. Like Lucia said, today was my last show directing. Unfortunately, you still have to deal with me Monday. Don't think you got rid of me that easily. I don't think I punched anything wrong. The only thing I can think of is that fun picture that I didn't know existed. Poor Donovan said, and here's this picture. And I went, I don't have a picture, so we didn't roll anything because there's nothing marked in the rundown and we didn't talk about it. So sorry about that. Didn't exist.
Yeah, the lesson there is, late changes have to be communicated. Things will happen after the rundown meeting.
Yeah, oh, was it added after?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if those things happen, obviously let the director and the SPM know and we can get that in. Cool. Other than that, I don't have anything. So thanks, guys. See you Monday for the last show.
Thanks, Bert.
And Sarah's back.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
So, my last notes of forever. Whew, good riddance. All right, let's get it. So starting 12 to 2 at the top of the day. So Madison Lupo, not Maddie, was on weather today. We made really good time. We finished early. We got through everything relatively fast, so that's always good, and I thought it turned out pretty solidly. Sports, Danny, there was a little bit of tardiness in getting your stuff approved, but you got finished before I got back at 2:15, and I'm going to count that as a win, and I'm sure it went well. And when I saw it on the show today, it looked good. And we had to re-edit a couple things to get your full screens and your shots in there, so I'm glad we did that because I think it turned out really well. 2 to 4, as always, anchors, thank you for your patience. It always takes a little bit of a minute to get things set up. But everything got approved in time to film, which is when we were finished setting things up. And we did some new stuff with teases and segments. Like we recorded Vera at the BAM instead of doing it live during the show, which I thought was definitely a good decision, just in terms of the quality of the camera on Anchor 1. And then we had stand-ups for some teases, and we didn't have to edit those, so that was also good, and it sort of mixed things up. So I enjoyed that. In terms of 3:30 to 6, this last long haul, almost all the packages were in by 4:45, which is the end of the golden window, so good job on that. Just as Bert was saying, the shooting victim update lead via was not notated or brought to our attention, so we just missed that, but we talked about it. And then personally, I thought Luke's, here he is, the newsroom shot looked good, and also all the graphics and the shot in the VO. I enjoyed it. So, we have a phone call.
Did you answer?
But other than
Did
that,
you just hang up on them?
Yeah,
They're just trying to sell you insurance.
it's never anyone real. Yeah, they're always like, "Do you like taxes?" And you're like, "No." But in terms of also Sarah's live shot looked really good, so that's awesome. And then you gave us some really good information. I don't have any discrepancies, so here we are. Last show, best show. Thank you for having me.
Yay, great job. Thank you, Lucia. All right, Wyatt, you were our producer today.
Yeah, I have some notes. First off, I just wanted to say, I thought everything came well, like everything came together really well, even though we were missing, I think more people today than we have all semester, so that's tough, but today went really well, I thought, and I actually, this afternoon was relatively calm for producing, so I actually, threw some notes down for everybody, no particular order, but Sarah, just really good job covering the press conference yesterday, with it being an off day, you don't want to really do anything, but you, went above and beyond, and you got some really good shots, and I thought that it really helped the package, having those shots, and then you're able to use that today. And then Sydney, I wanted to shout you out for really, you kept pushing on your story, your side of the kind of ongoing coverage that we had for Monday of the shooting, and then the just overall safety in the area. Because I know this morning we had kind of a tough time finding people to talk to, but we just kept going, and I thought it turned out really well. And then next, that would have been Vera. Like, I really enjoyed the like the BAM and the digital hit because I think it did add something to like everything that we had already had coverage-wise, and I liked all the graphs and stuff. So it really gave some context. Then Majesty, I know we had to kind of like move you around a lot this morning, like just because stories weren't happening today, and so just thank you again for just being flexible with that. Because I know we really wanted to do the one story, which I think is important, but it was going to be hard to do anything with that today. And then Danny, I really liked, even in, I guess they're not really even technically readers now, but when you have like graphics and just full screen, just images and stuff, like to kind of spice up the sports, I thought that really helps, as opposed to just like the one shot with you and then something on the over the shoulder. Like it's nice to have some, just changing it up a little bit. And then Maddie, thanks for going to Avid and getting the Bosod about Chelsea Clinton coming. Like we needed that for the show, and I know because you were supposed to be, what were you supposed to be today? Weather? Yeah, you did weather, and then you also did that, so good job. And then Luke, you're at literally everything today, and so just thanks for all you did, including, I thought you did a really good job with getting all the Trump stuff together. I know that was kind of tough because you didn't really talk about opioids as much as you would have thought, but what are you gonna do? And then Donovan, thank you for, first off, stepping up and being an anchor today when one of the anchors was out. And then I was glad we had your profile in, like, to kind of end the show. Like, that was a good story at the end in E-Block. And then that's it. That's all I had. So.
All right, good job, Wyatt. Okay, Vera? Vera was our digital producer today.
So I was the digital producer today, and I think that it went well overall. I think that I know we struggled with less personnel than usual, so Donovan had to anchor today. So our social wasn't as strong today as it was for sure on Monday, and I think on Monday we really did a good job of like telling stories through social as it was unfolding and as we were confirming things that were definite. And then today it was a little more of how can we incorporate digital elements into the broadcast, which was something different. But I think going forward as we get all of our digital stories up for like the couple profiles and updating on that case and then doing like the crime stats over the past 10 years, I think that'll be really good. But and then I think social elements, Sarah was the highlight today with the Facebook Live update. I think that went really well. I'm glad we actually got it to work too, so that was awesome. And then, but the only other things, sorry. But the only other things that we had on social today were the Grady Daily and a photo from Majesty for the Twilight police collaboration. So if anyone else has more like multimedia elements that we can continue to put up tonight and throughout the day tomorrow, and then just get more traffic on our website, that would be awesome. But otherwise, I think good job, everyone. So yeah.
Yay. Okay. Do you want to have anything to say? Luke?
I guess just like going off, yeah, I was supposed to be associate producer today. Just going off what Wyatt said, I think we did a good job, just like everybody kind of filling in spots, because obviously we were 3 people short. Maddie was like 3 things today. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think we ended up doing a pretty good job putting the show together, and like we said, it helped having profile pieces to kind of help fill in the gaps a little bit. But yeah.
Thanks, Luke. That was wonderful. So I thought the anchors did a good job. I thought Donovan, who I've been calling Father Harris all day, did a nice job, and Sydney, you did a nice job. I think, yeah, smile when it's appropriate and be serious when it's appropriate is really just the, rule of thumb. You have something to say already, Father? Give the father.
I thought about what Professor Hazinski said. When I changed cameras, I did like this. But how do you quickly look down and look? I mean, I was thinking about that when I was like, dang, I forgot to do it. And I said, if I have to change cameras today, I'm going to do that, and it happened.
That's how, but you don't have to
Sorry. You don't have to immediately come back up. You can, because sometimes I'm going to be reading these notes and then I'm going to come and do it. You think you have to be up there absolutely immediately. But you can say, I'm happy to be here. Most of the stuff we're looking at is coming from, and it's fine. You just think you have to be there. It actually is natural if you're natural. Okay. And I noticed you do it too.
Okay, so Sydney, yeah. So just, smile when it's appropriate, don't smile when it's not appropriate. You said your parents told you we're too serious on Monday. So
They're watching, don't get me in trouble.
okay, well, I'm going to get you in trouble with your parents. So Sydney had a line in her package on the crime stats. But compared to last year, Athens has seen an increase in homicides. Griffith attributes this to the fact that fewer people have been able to survive aggravated assaults than last year.
All right.
Which just sounds a little absurd. It's like we got a bunch of weaklings running around here who just can't survive these aggravated assaults.
All right, so
we changed it, right?
we changed it. Although I attributed it, it's not me saying that.
Well, but the gist of it is what he's saying, and that soundbite was, depends on how quickly you can get people to the hospital. Is there a trauma surgeon on duty, right?
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. Things that are not always in control.
He said the word is survivability.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway. So I thought, look, I was glad we had the triple team coverage again today, Sarah. I thought you did a nice job taking that story as far as you could, getting an update on his condition, the injured student's condition. And then weaving in the news conference that you went to yesterday. Bravo, 10 a.m. She's there at the news conference doing, a live stand-up, look live, saying, I'm here, we're going to bring this to you on all of our social platforms, right, and digital platforms, and then got the news conference up when she, as she turned it around. So I thought that was really great, and it put us in a great position for today. Of course, we didn't want to lean just on that. We needed to add a little bit to it, and really I think there was nothing new in the investigation, but we really wanted to say, well, how is Tate doing, and that's what you were able to do. And I thought your stand-up, people reacted in the control room where you held up the sketch was great. I thought your live work was great. I thought it was really good top of the show. So just ignore the man in the corner. I thought you did really, really well. And then...
Can I stop you for a minute, seriously?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was well done stand-up. The problem was lighting on it. Because you were backlit, you had what we call vampire eyes. So they turn into black balls here, and nobody can see. You just have to watch the lighting. It was a really well done and a good stand-up, but it could have looked a lot better.
I noticed it when I got back. I couldn't see it very well when I was out there, and I thought it looked fine, but I got back and I realized.
Yeah. You need a mic when you're talking.
I didn't notice it until I got back because it was so sunny, obviously, out there that I couldn't see it on my screen. So.
Okay.
Middle of the day is the hardest to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, anyways, so Sydney, I thought you did a nice job with Vera, on the team coverage on the how safe is Athens, and you pushed and pushed and pushed with Athens police to get that guy who could give us the crime trends, right? So that's a credit to you. You didn't get out of here until, I think it was like 11 o'clock this morning. You had to be back by 2, and you really managed your time well. And I think the station that's getting you in a few weeks is going to be happy to have you because you've really done a nice job here, except for that one paragraph. Vera, I think on yours, one thing that would have been nice is to see you at the back end of your presentation. So we had you at the BAM in the front. Just wanted to see you for closure on the back end. You ended on that soundbite that you got from Sydney, but I want to see you again and then have you sig out, and then it would sort of close the story. So what we ended up doing, because we didn't see you again, is the guy had his sound bite, and then we were sort of abruptly on to the next story. I forgot what it was. Maybe it was opioids or something, but it just needed a little bit of closure. And then I think that it would have been helpful, on just where you were positioned. If you were just a little bit further screen left, we could have seen those dates running down the side of the graphic. So you were just a little bit, covering those up. So, anyway. But we.
I think the only other, and then the other thing that came to mind was, I wish that we had like a different sock because it wound up working out really well. That Sydney did get the crime analyst, and he was awesome.
Put it on your person. Do not hold it and try to talk into it. Thank you.
And I think that he was like a really great source to talk to for that kind of information and everything. But I think like visually too, like going back and thinking about it, I think just like seeing him again was like kind of repetitive. But it was just like one of those things that you wound up having a thought that worked well with the information that I was presenting.
I think if we'd had our druthers, we would not have used them twice. But you know, we only had so much, and it went to the point you wanted to make about them reclassifying crimes. So. Luke, thank you for pulling the. Luke, thank you for pulling the Trump sound and writing that. I thought that was the best tag I've ever heard to a story about. Really, 7 out of 10 Georgians have prescription opioids, and compared to 5 out of 10 in other states. I mean, that's an astonishing number. And then the information you gave out after that about you can take these drugs to these different locations. You know, old drugs that you want to get rid of safely, I thought was good information to give to viewers. So that was good. Okay, Wyatt, the Athens community, we talked a little bit about this, but I think it would be helpful even, for Professor Hazinski to talk about the mic issue. She had a lavalier mic, but it was a little hollow, and we were picking up a different mic.
Yeah, what
camera mic,
you end
I
up
guess.
doing is if you do not monitor sound, it will bite you. It's just one of those rules of life, But I'm sure he saw the meter peaking, thought he had audio, and he did, but that's a monaural mic, so you're picking it up from both the camera, which is good because it's backup if you don't have anything else, and the lavalier. But when you start editing, you're not paying enough attention and you pull it off the wrong microphone. Or with the 1/4 inch, the 1/8 inch connections, they may pop out and you don't see them, the little bitty ones, and then it will automatically go back to the other mic and you think you're okay, but you're not. The answer is monitor it all the time if you can.
With headphones.
Yeah.
Or earbuds. The gnat off the top of that piece, we had talked about including some gnat.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was as good as the gnat you had deeper in the piece when she was doing the hip hop stuff. I just thought that was much better. That was kind of what I had in my mind's eye,
Because I had them switched initially, like when I was working on it the last few days. And then I just kind of felt like I almost didn't want to like come on too strong from the top of the package and then like get into when I talk about her being a rapper.
Just didn't want to get viewer interest.
That's what I was thinking.
Anyway,
yeah,
I just think that
I understand what you mean.
Yeah. But I thought it was a good story, and I'm glad we did it. And I thought she's amazing that she's doing all these different things. It was interesting because between that story and your story, Donovan, on the woman with the business, we have 2 very active students who have got these other lives going that they were both good stories. So bravo that we had the profile pieces because we needed them today. And we stretched our resources, putting Luke in the newsroom, putting Vera at the BAM really helped fill out the show, even without a first weather. And Maddie, where are you? Oh, thank you for getting the Chelsea Clinton the sound at the bookstore. That was good. The Twilight, I thought that was well written, your Twilight bike helmet piece. My only criticism is that it went to black at the end. It just went to black too soon. You were still singing out and the piece was in black. Okay. Yeah, and then you had the lieutenant spelled wrong. Yeah, so we needed an E there. But look, we struggled. We wanted to do the story today on Baldwin Hall and that faculty report that I guess they came out on the 17th, but they had a meeting last night. But it's a 124-page report, I think, to go through, and we couldn't get anybody to talk to us who was critical to the report itself. I still think that's a great story. If we could get on board, if you get back calls and there are people who will talk and you can make your way through that report, that's a good story. So I hated to give that up, but I think at some point you're facing the clock and it's almost noon. You've got to get out on something, right, that's going to turn. We didn't have the luxury for you not to turn, to spend all day and not turn a story. All right. I thought the sports tease was good. We created a little mystery about the golfer. She said, I've been waiting and waiting and for 2 years, and finally in my 3rd year, we know something happened, but we're not telling the audience what. We're just going to let it, create mystery by not telling them. So I thought that was good. And then Danny, I just thought you were really good. Your presentation was really good. I thought the golfer story was really well shot. I thought the sound was good. I was mad at Wyatt and Savannah because they killed your tag, and you want that for closure. So I'm telling you this because this is a place to learn when you go produce, Madison or Wyatt or whoever in here wants to produce. Be selective about the elements you kill. Think about how it will sound on the air to a viewer. So in your case, that package ends on a sound bite, I believe, and then we're rolling the weather tease. So no closure at all. I would have rather lost the weather tease and had you for that tag on the package. I think it would have felt better for the audience, for the viewers, and would have been better for your reel. I don't know if you're still building your reel, but but I thought it was well told. Madison, I think the weather was fine. I don't think. I actually thought you did better earlier in the semester on weather. I felt like you were a little stiff, but I think you've already got what you're doing next, and you're getting a producing job, and you're going to do great. And so, I don't expect that weather's going to be your best. I don't see you in front of the weather board at your next stop. So you'll be great as a producer, and I think you could do it if you wanted to do it, but it's not what you wanted to do.
I don't think I was stiff because I didn't want to do it. I mean, I took the 1 minute one time, and it's just like I just get stiff because I can't concentrate on getting in a minute and then 30 seconds wrap it up and smiling. I just don't know how to do it. So I am stiff. I realized while I was watching, I was like, I'm cringing right now.
But I was surprised just because you did a really nice job earlier this semester on weather, actually. Anyway, I was talking to Madison in the control room, and I was just saying that when we have our last class on Monday, we'll just go around the table, around the room, and critique the class. What did you get out of this? What could have been better? What were the high points, the low points, that kind of thing. And I was just saying that to Madison, and she said that she found a career path. And I thought that was wonderful. So, yeah. All right. Father Harris. I thought that was a good package, and we had that conversation about writing to video, which Luke and I have had, and Danny and I have had, and just always want to write to your pictures. And when Donovan went back to it, he saw that there was some other pictures he could include, of some 2 shots. We had a nice cutaway of you, I thought, in the piece. Yeah, we saw you twice. Go ahead.
Yeah, there were 2 cutaways in there. I was concerned about my audio. I'm obsessive about my audio now because of this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it was better. I don't. But yeah, the 2 shots, and then and then writing to the video. I was concerned because she was not the most animated of a character. So I didn't know what else I could do to kind of make chicken salad out of it. So
we're still broadcasting.
So I did my best with that package.
Okay. Well, I thought it was fine, and I don't think the audio. A lot of these pieces, I feel like I've got to watch at home to see is the audio. Sometimes in there it's a little lower. It felt hot at one point on yours. Hot at the top.
It was hot at the top. I heard
it.
I thought. And then I was then they lowered it. I just made sure my piece were at -12 and it hit higher than that, but I don't know how they do audio in there. I've never seen it. But they adjusted it after that first nap pop.
Okay. All right. I just want to go back to Sarah for a second, and when great for you that you did your Facebook Live today. We tested it out, and she actually gave us good information in that Facebook Live. But how did you finally get it to work, and what was the problem, do you think, yesterday?
I literally have no idea. I did the same thing that I was doing yesterday, but today it decided to work.
So tell them what you did right, or what you did today.
I logged into the Newsource Facebook on my phone, and then when you click the hamburger, whatever Dr. Bright called it, and you have to click on the second Grady Newsource logo, because one of them is a personal page, one of them is like a page, and we want the page. And then the way I can differentiate it now, I scroll down, I see my mom is like our only top fan on the Facebook page, so I see her face, and I'm like, this is the right page. And you click on write something, and then it
Are you
pops
saying
up.
Sydney's mom is not our top fan?
No, it's Julie Yates. Hey, Mom, if you're watching. But, and you click write something, and then it like pops up where the status, where you'd like write a status, and you just click live video, and then it just goes. But like that's what I did yesterday, and
On that second
on the
page?
second one. I think it's the one, I don't know, I'm not logged in anymore. I think it's the one that's one word, whatever the second one is when you click on it. It's the one word one. Okay, well that's what it is.
All right. Well, we've got another class on Monday, and if there's an opportunity to Facebook Live, either our digital person or social person, then we know how to do it, right? All right. So,
But now we know.
Now we know. All right. I thought it's interesting. This semester really ended kind of with a bang with this story that happened this week. It was the biggest story I've seen up here in my brief time. David, I don't know if you feel, if we had, it's a big story, and I remember you and I talking when I was at a TV station. David and I used to communicate when there were things going on in Athens. I would call and he would put me in touch with the students, and they would send me video. And I've got a bunch of them in my phone. I don't know if I could find them anymore, but I remember there was like a gas leak or something up here. But I don't remember a student being shot. That's big. So we'll see if Monday we still have things to follow there. It could be that he gets out of the hospital and there's a news conference, but I don't know. Or maybe the father speaks again. Who knows? We should think about it, and anything you guys can do tomorrow and the next day to get ready for Monday will just make that last day more bearable, I think, and easier, and then we can all roll into our final pizza party. Do you want to say something? You grab the mic.
I think you guys I didn't do it on purpose, but I think you guys ought to be proud of yourselves. I think this was a very solid show with very few people that was very well done.
Yeah.
I watched it as a viewer. I was interested in everything. I didn't go crazy over 3 million errors. I think the audience got a lot out of it, and I think you did a good job of it.
I mean, everything seemed to file early enough. The scripts were all written early, and we were just chatting. I kept thinking, what am I missing? Something's wrong here. I mean, look at where we are compared to the first. I mean, we had a nice start, I thought, but then we hit the second or third week or whatever of shows, and we were like, oh, everything was filing at 5 of, it seemed like, and we were just on the verge of disaster, and they were unhappy with us, and we were feeling guilty, and you've made great strides, I think. So, and and it's not you. It'll be the same for the first group when this next semester starts. They'll be starting where you were. So, anyway. I think you guys did great, and hopefully Monday we'll have a great show. Thank you, Donovan. Yeah. All right. I don't know. So we got 2 more profile pieces, I think, to air on Monday. One is Christina's, and Maddie, you're shooting yours on Jungle Juice or something. Journey Juice. I cannot remember. I can't remember the pieces. What is Journey Juice?
Instead of Journey Juice. Jungle Juice.
It's cool, and the owner's really cool. Her name's Amy. She's been around for a long time.
And you're going to tell us about her life story and why she's so interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Good shots because the store's cute and the juice is colorful and nice. It's so good. We should do one on Jungle Juice.
We should do what?
I said we should do one on Jungle Juice.
Okay. Well, we are. There you go.
She's doing Journey Juice.
Oh, my idea. That's yeah. I don't know. I can't keep my juices straight. Yeah. All right. So the other great thing about the semester, I think, is that several of you are rolling into jobs. Wyatt's going to go to Bakersfield, California, and be a producer. He'll see another part of the country. You two are going to be in Augusta together, which I think is fantastic. So you'll have each other's back.
2 minutes apart. Yeah, our apartments are right next door.
Oh, you already have your apartments?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
So cute.
I love preparation.
We're gonna be friends.
Yeah. Well, that'll be good. That'll be great.
Not yet, but working on
Finally
it.
made the decision.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. All right.
Wow,
And then Sarah's going to Macon. So.
Yes. Well, congratulations to everyone who currently has jobs, and for those who don't, you will soon, because I believe in you. Thank you so much for tuning in to my last show is SPM. This has been Lucia Vereen, Grady Newsource. Our last show is on Monday. See you then.